I am Marwan Cameron, and this is The Conduit. All right, y'all. It is August 14, 2021. Happy birthday to my oldest daughter, Nikoya Cameron. And in about 30 minutes, it'll be my father's birthday. So happy birthday to my father. As you know, he passed, and we acknowledged and celebrated him. His passing on July 29th, and then his birthday is 2 weeks later. So, it's definitely an emotional 2 weeks for me, but we hold him up on his day. And again, happy birthday to my oldest daughter. It's interesting because just for a little bit of time, we're all 20 years apart. So it's kind of pretty cool and special. But as you can see, I'm coming to you from a different location. I am not in G1, as many call it. I am at our headquarters downtown at G2 Tower, as it is. And we will be shifting our podcast down here, our big podcast on Monday nights, every second and fourth Monday of the month. They'll be here. So, catch us here coming up, not this Monday, but the following Monday. We got quite a show for you. You're not gonna want to miss that. It's centered around commemorating 9/11 and emergency management. Just some things that we definitely need to hear. Just really important stuff. So tune into that. I'll be sending out reminders and alerts for folks to kind of tune in. As we usually do, we have subject matter experts with us to share their knowledge and expertise so that we may, get knowledge, information, and, more than that is to be able to apply it, right? People say that, knowledge is power, and education is something that they can't take from you. I kind of feel like that needs to be modified, right? Knowledge and education are only good and useful if you use it, right? So there are folks that are tremendously intelligent, have amassed a cornucopia, a gaggle, if you will, of information, of knowledge and wisdom. But if they don't share it with anyone, then it's wasted, it's lost, right? It's good for that individual, but it's not good for the community. And so, information education really are powerful things in and of themselves, but they must be shared in order for them to truly reach their own potential. So, again, every second and fourth Monday, we'll be down here downtown at the G2 downtown location. So as I said, we're going to have a really good show for you coming up. So, stay tuned for that. Hopefully you caught our last show about the buy-in force. If you haven't, check that out. You can always see that on Facebook at my personal page, which is Marwan Cameron on Facebook, or our Gather Together, Grow Together Facebook page. You can catch it there. You can also catch us on YouTube, and you can just type in my name, MarwanCameron. That is the fastest way for you to find it. As I said before, there's a lot of things called the conduit. So if you just type in the conduit, it may take you a while to find it, right? But if you type my name in there, aren't too many Marwan Camerons around. So might be the only one out there. There are more Marwans, though, surprisingly enough. I didn't meet I've never met another Marwan, but I never heard of someone having that name until I was well into, I believe, my 30s, maybe even, my 30s for sure. So just really interesting. And, I remember when I was a kid not liking that name and, getting teased about it. Even still now, most of the people can't pronounce it. I was just joking with someone I met last Sunday at lunch. What's your name? How do you say it? Is it Marwayne, Marwan, Marwin, marijuana, Mar1, Mar2, Mar3? So, I get it all, right? How do you spell that? And man, the spellings are even more crazy than than how folks say it, and it's like it's spelled just like it sounds. I mean, it really isn't that crazy, but apparently it is. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you because yesterday our Kitsap Public Health Department put out a statement, and I think it's really important for us to get that information out there as wide as we can, as far as disseminating information in our community. So it is really critical. As you know, the Delta variant is kind of going crazy across the country right now. And so this information came out on August 12th, 2021. It is a public health advisory, new masking directive issued for Kitsap County. Masks are required indoors regardless of vaccination status. Kitsap County, Washington. Dr. Gib Morrow, who I interviewed here on this podcast a few weeks ago. So if you haven't seen that, do check out that interview with Dr. Gib Morrow, full of information that I think is very helpful for you and for your family. Anyhow, Dr. Gib Morrow, health officer for the Kitsap Public Health District, issued a new masking directive today, effective August 14, today. Everyone 5 years of age and older in Kitsap County is asked to wear a face covering within indoor public spaces. Now, I will say that I'm going to have to get used to not wearing my mask, and I have found myself forgetting to wear my mask going indoors. And sometimes there's been a few times I didn't even have my mask. So I've got to retrain myself to make sure that I have my mask all the time. The directive applies to indoor spaces that are open to the public, including retail, grocery stores, government buildings, and other businesses and places where members of the public can enter freely. It does not apply to indoor, non-public spaces, including businesses, offices, and other places of employment with limited access. Employers in those settings should continue to follow current guidance and requirements from the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries on worker safety. In a quote, I strongly urge all people in Kitsap County to voluntarily comply with this directive and direct all businesses open to the public to continue implementing policies and procedures to ensure that their employees and customers wear face masks, said Dr. Morrow. We need everyone to take these steps in order to protect the health of our employees, customers, and our whole community. I definitely agree with that. Requiring nearly everybody to wear a mask indoors again is necessary for Kitsap County to curb the alarming growth in COVID-19 cases. A fifth wave of increasing COVID-19 transmission has been underway since approximately July 10 of this year, leading to a 591% increase in 7-day case rate from 152 per 100,000 residents. This case rate exceeds the threshold for high transmission as defined by the Federal Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, and is expected to surpass the highest disease activity experienced in Kitsap throughout the entire pandemic by this weekend. Hospitalizations are at their highest levels of the pandemic as well and climbing rapidly, further straining our healthcare system. Okay. I think that's really important to acknowledge there, right? So the highest ever is pretty alarming, okay, through the entire pandemic. So you can think of all that we've gone through over the course of, when did we lock down? Back in last March, the highest since the pandemic. It's kind of a scary thought, right? And here it is, hot, and it's summertime, right? So when we start getting into the fall, we have a flu season, we've got the rain and everything else. I worry about this fall and winter. I truly do. Back to the article. Vaccines remain one of our best tools against COVID-19. While vaccinations against COVID-19 have been available in Kitsap County since December, just over 52% of all Kitsap County residents are fully vaccinated. approximately 100,000 Kitsap County residents of the age of 12 or greater than 12 remain unvaccinated. Despite widespread availability of vaccine for several months, approximately 38,000 Kitsap County residents younger than 12 years of age remain unvaccinated due to their ineligibility for vaccination. Okay. I know they are working on approving that vaccine for children under 12. I don't know when that's going to come up. I do intend to inquire about that. For more information on COVID-19, including information about local vaccination opportunities, can be found on the Kitsap Public Health District's COVID-19 webpage. A frequently asked questions document on this masking directive is posted here. So you can click on the link if you want some more information. I'll go ahead and open up the webpage here. There's a lot of good information that you can look at. Again, you've got the data dashboard that is here if you want to take a look at that information. And so it will give you cases by age, race, ethnicity, and language. Will give you case testings, outbreaks, vaccination status cases, hospitalizations. There's a little bit of everything in here. And so if you have questions and you're wondering, right? And I don't know what everybody might have an interest in, so I'm not going to kind of click into that. I thought about kind of going in and doing a deep dive on this to update folks, but different information will be different for other people. If for some reason you do feel like, yeah, you know what, that would be helpful for you to kind of just go through and just talk about each one, I will do that. I will do that. But get tested. Okay. So you can click on that and you can see who should get tested, why you should get tested. You can look at the CDC testing page. A lot of good information here if you're interested in that. Okay, there's a school page, there's outbreak information, there's some healthcare resources. Definitely encourage you to look at those. The reopening plan, okay, for Washington State, you could take a look at that. Business guidance, if you're, wondering what the business guidance is for businesses that you enter into. Am I going to be required to wear a mask? If you are a business owner, what do I need to do? This is where you can get that information. So that would be very helpful. And then protect your health. And this is a CDC page here. So again, there's a lot of good information on the Kitsap Public Health website here. So I do implore you to go and take a look at that. As always, if you are interested in getting the vaccine and you need a ride, you can call G2 and we will come and pick you up and take you to the location to get your vaccine and take you back home. So, you know, again, very, very important. Here's some information here that Dr. Morrow said he would make available. Health officer directive for wearing masks in public indoor spaces and frequently asked questions. Is this a directive or a mandate? What is the penalty for businesses or individuals not following the directive? So you've got all kinds of information here. Let me try to zoom in on this here so maybe you can see it a little bit. I know it's pretty tiny. It's even tiny for me here. So this is a statement from the Kitsap health officer directing people to wear masks when indoor public spaces. This directive is an alignment of the Center for Disease Control. All right, so it's a directive. So that's pretty important to know. What is the penalty? Enforcement for the three state uh, and federal orders are explained in the links above. It is expected that individuals, businesses, and organizations will comply with the masking directive for Kitsap County effective August 14, which is today. Okay. But there's not an enforcement process or penalty attached at this time. Employees of businesses who are not complying with Washington Department of LNI regulations should submit concerns to this website. Okay. All right. So again, everyone, we're definitely going backwards. We're heading in the wrong direction as we are coming to the tail end of summer, as kids are going back to school. Um, I mean, it just doesn't seem like a good situation to me, right? I am definitely, I would say I'm only a little surprised that this has gotten so out of hand. If you listen to me on a regular basis, then you know that I've expressed my concerns of us being a little too oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Liberal, if you will, with our with not wearing our mask, and just kind of doing what we want to do, what we feel is best. I kind of feel like the government should have been a little bit more hardcore and kept things more stringent as far as mask wearing and social distancing for a little bit longer. And now this Delta variant has come, and you've seen, different countries opening up their borders again, and all the sports and all the different things happening, and everyone kind of just converging, and all the holidays, and here we are. And so we've seen these waves, right? And you would think that we would learn from it, but it just doesn't seem like we do. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. We got to do what we can for sure, and we will. I mean, we'll do the best we can. But my hope is that we do learn from this again this time, and we can get this thing under control. And once we do, my hope would be that um, it will stick through the fall and the winter. And my knock on wood, that's plastic, so that doesn't count. No wood close to me. But I think this thing could end up mutating and getting even worse, right? And we don't want to get to a point where this vaccine is not effective against the new strain that may manifest itself due to us just making this thing go crazy and haywire. So, again, I encourage you to wear your mask. If we can just do it for a little while, if we can get a hold of it, get ahead of this thing, um, maybe we can right the ship, and then we can be all right. That's my hope. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but I'll be doing my due diligence. I wanted to share this information with you, because I know that many of us don't always get local news, let alone the national news. So I figured I would share this information out because it is really important. Anyhow, as you can see, like I said, I am downtown. Every second Monday and fourth Monday will be our big podcast at our downtown location. Again, centered around 9/11 for our next podcast. So stay tuned for that. I will continue to come to you, bring you information, have commentary on different things, and whatnot. So if you want any more information on the COVID-19 vaccines, you can go to kcowa.us/vaccine. All right. As I said, happy birthday to my oldest daughter, and happy birthday to my father. 13 minutes from now, August 15th. Ooh, man. I wonder what I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't know. I know a couple years ago, my brother and I spread some of his ashes out down in Italy. So that was pretty nice. And of course, I went up to Canada. What was that, last year? Almost went to jail for driving the wrong way on an international highway. So that was pretty scary. I don't know if I ever told that story. I have to tell that one, but it was that I was pretty scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty terrified. Anyway, that is a story for another time. We'll definitely go down memory lane, and I'll have all kinds of good stories for you. But anyway, I'm Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit. Stay cool tomorrow. It's still going to be a hot one. All right. Don't forget your mask. And hey, if you need masks, we have them for free. So let us know that you need some masks for you and your family. And let's make some arrangements to get you some masks. All right. Until next time, this is The Conduit.